Have you ever wondered about the story of the one who was once called the Lightbearer? This isn't just a simple tale of good versus evil. It's a cosmic drama, a rebellion that shook the very foundations of heaven. This is the story of Lucifer's fall, a narrative that has echoed through the ages, holding profound lessons for all of us. Before he was known as the adversary, he was Lucifer, a name that means light-bearer. Imagine an angel of unparalleled beauty and brilliance, a being so magnificent that he was admired throughout the celestial realms. He was a pinnacle of creation, a morning star shining brightly in the divine presence. But within this radiant being, a shadow began to grow. A subtle seed of pride, planted in the fertile ground of his own perfection, started to take root. This wasn't a sudden change, but a slow, creeping corruption. The pride in his heart began to whisper a dangerous idea. Why just be the brightest angel when you could be more? This desire for elevation wasn't just about surpassing his peers. It was about ascending above the Creator himself. His own light, once a reflection of divine glory, became something he saw as his own. Vanity evolved into a burning ambition, and ambition hardened into a plan for rebellion. Lucifer, the light-bearer, began to believe that the light should serve him, not the other way around. He coveted the throne of heaven, convinced that he could rule better, that his wisdom was supreme. This internal rebellion didn't stay contained. Lucifer was not only brilliant but also incredibly charismatic. He used his influence, his powerful voice, and his sharp intellect to sow seeds of doubt among the other angels. He approached them not with open treason, but with subtle questions and enticing promises. He spoke of a new kind of freedom, a liberation from what he framed as divine tyranny. He painted a picture where they could be their own gods, masters of their own destiny, free from the constraints of service and worship. He twisted the truth, making obedience seem like slavery and rebellion seem like enlightenment. His words were seductive. To many, the idea of self-rule and unchecked power was intoxicating. They were captivated by his vision, by the illusion of a grander existence. A staggering number, nearly a third of the heavenly host, chose to side with him. They turned their backs on the source of their own existence, believing Lucifer's promises of greater glory. The perfect harmony of heaven was shattered. The celestial courts, once filled with songs of praise, now echoed with whispers of dissent and the clang of spiritual armor being forged. The stage was set for a conflict of epic proportions. The war in heaven wasn't a battle of swords and spears in the way we might imagine, but a clash of wills, a war of principles. On one side stood Lucifer and his legions, fueled by pride and a lust for power. On the other side stood the armies of heaven, led by the archangel Michael. Michael, whose name means who is like God, personified loyalty, humility, and unwavering faith. His very name was a defiant challenge to Lucifer's ambition. There was no middle ground in this conflict, no room for neutrality. Every angel had to make a choice, to stand with a divine order, founded on love and humility, or to fall into the abyss of pride and self-worship. This was the ultimate test of loyalty. The battle that raged was a spiritual cataclysm, a profound struggle between light and the shadow it casts. It was a war for the very soul of heaven, a conflict that would determine the destiny of countless celestial beings. Ultimately, divine justice prevailed. The rebellion was crushed, not by overwhelming force alone, but by the inherent truth of the divine order. Pride, by its very nature, is a force of chaos and self-destruction. Lucifer and his followers were defeated. They were cast out of heaven, expelled from the realms of light and grace. Their fall was not just a physical descent from a higher place to a lower one. It was a profound moral and existential collapse. They were severed from the divine presence, their inner light extinguished and replaced by a consuming darkness. The angel who once shone as the morning star became the symbol of eternal separation from God, a shadow of his former glory. He and the angels who followed him were forever marked by their choice. Their story became a cautionary tale about the seductive danger of pride, how it can disguise itself as wisdom and lead even the most magnificent beings to ruin. They chose themselves over their Creator, and in doing so, they lost everything. So, what does this ancient story mean for us today? Whether you see it as a literal account or a powerful metaphor, the fall of Lucifer holds a mirror up to the human condition. It's a timeless warning about the destructive nature of unchecked pride. It shows us how the relentless pursuit of power, status, and self-glorification can corrupt our best qualities, turning our own light into darkness. It reminds us that true strength is found not in exalting ourselves, but in humility and connection to something greater than ourselves. This narrative reveals the eternal battle that takes place within each of us. We all face the choice between our ego and our higher self, between ambition that serves only us and purpose that serves the greater good. It's the struggle between arrogance and wisdom, between the hunger for control and the peace of surrender. The fall of Lucifer is more than just a myth. It's a fundamental lesson etched into the fabric of our existence. The greatest wars are not fought on external battlefields, but within the landscape of our own hearts and minds. The choice between light and shadow is one we make every single day. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's most profound narratives. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content that explores the deeper questions of life, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What lessons do you draw from this story? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking the light.